Welcome to Dishin with the Dietitian. My name is Debbie Kravitsky. I've been a registered dietitian for over 30 years. Currently, I'm the Director of Nutrition at Mass General Hospital's Cardiovascular Disease Prevention Center. I've met with hundreds of people helping them to meet their dietary goals. I'd like to do the same with you. I'd like to present evidence-based nutrition information. Today, I'd like to zoom in on the role of fats. We need fat in our diet for thermal insulation and protection, for transport, absorption of fat-soluble vitamins. There's those vitamins that dissolve in water, and there are other vitamins that dissolve in fat. The fat-soluble vitamins, vitamins A, D, E, and K, they need you to eat fat so they can get absorbed, digested, utilized by the body. I don't know about you, but fats certainly help my food taste better, and they keep you feeling full longer. So include fat in your diet. Just be selective in the type of fat that you include. As a side note, you might be surprised to learn that it doesn't matter how much fat you include in terms of heart health, as long as your diet is balanced, and so that you're not having mayonnaise at the expense of fruit and vegetables, and as long as your weight is good, so that weight is an independent risk factor for all chronic disease. So what does matter is the type of fat. Today we're going to talk about saturated fats. Saturated fats are fats that are generally solid, generally of animal origin, with the exception of the tropical oils, coconut and palm. These are also highly saturated. And when we eat saturated fats, over time they're going to raise LDL cholesterol. That's the kind of cholesterol that will clog your arteries and increase your risk for heart disease. They also, right then and there upon digestion, will cause the walls of your arteries to stiffen. That's going to put more pressure on your heart to pump through a stiffer opening. It's going to increase your risk for heart disease. So these fats, we really want to dial them down. As I said, they're generally solid, generally of animal origin, with the exception of the tropical oils, coconut and palm. If you've ever seen white fat congeal around leftovers in your fridge, you knew that didn't look good, that's saturated fats. So let's take a look at where you're having saturated fat in your diet so that maybe you can make a difference by making a substitution. Not maybe, you absolutely can. Let's take it back. Saturated fats come from meats. So think about breakfast and lunch and dinner, any snacks. How many times a week are you including red meat? Red meat is a grouping. It includes pork. Pork is not the other white meat. If it includes pork, it will include hot dogs, bacon. Are you having sausage and ham? This also includes lamb and veal, steak, hamburger, and roast beef. So think about breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks. How many times a week are you having red meat? I want you to limit your intake of red meat to no more than once, twice a week max. And if you have red meat, make sure that it's lean. So remember the words loin and round. So sirloin steak, tenderloin, filet, flank steak, top or bottom round, preferable to prime rib or ribeye, which are just too fatty a cut. If you have hamburger, it should be 93 to 99% lean. Keep in mind, if you go out to eat in a restaurant and you order a hamburger patty, it will be 80%, which means of your little patty, 20% of this is fat, and the fat is all saturated, which is going to go ahead and clog your arteries and cause your arterial walls to stiffen. Rather, have hamburger or ground beef dishes at home where you can purchase 93 to 99% lean hamburger and know that you're having a much leaner cut. Saturated fats come also from dairy. So the number one source of saturated fat in this country comes from mixed dishes, predominantly because of cheese. Cheese, therefore, should be fat-free or low-fat. Butter is a saturated fat, so it's not necessarily better with butter. Make sure you substitute out a spread. It will be also almost anything with the word cream will be saturated fat. Sweet cream, sour cream, whipped cream, ice cream, cream cheese, half and half. These are all sources of saturated fat in your diet, and they should be replaced with low-fat or fat-free options. Whole milk is not all fat, but it's 3.5% fat, and all of that is saturated. So make sure you have no more than 1% milk. If you're used to drinking 2% or whole, then you may want to try Simply Smart by Hood or Over the Moon by Gorelick. These companies have taken the water out of their milk so it becomes thicker. So if I blindfolded you and gave you this skim milk, you'd say, Deb, I think that's 1 or 2%. And if I gave you their 1% and said, Deb, I'm telling you, I'm drinking whole milk. I remember when my mother drank skim milk, it looked like blue water. And I thought, that'll never happen for me. This way, you don't need to sacrifice taste, but you don't need to clog your arteries. Take a look at the saturated fat in your diet. By making a lower fat substitution or a food made with an appropriate type of fat, you can start to reduce your risk of heart disease. My name is Debbie Kravitsky, Dishin with the Dietitian. Here's to your health.